I cold approached 100 girls, and there's three things that I wish I knew when I was younger and absolutely terrified of girls, starting with something that will change the way you view rejection. I want you to imagine a store, a physical storefront with a sign that says open or closed. And when the store is open, you can just walk in and go and buy something. But if the store is closed, you can't get in. The door's locked. And if you were to try to get in, it would be illegal. You'd have to break down the door, and that shit will get you in jail. I want you to imagine girls very closely to being a business that is either open or closed. And when a girl is open for business, that means she's receptive to your approach. You have a chance. That means that her current mental state is open to talking to new guys. She's open to going on dates with guys or potentially sleeping with them. And if the girl is closed, for whatever reason, and there's a million of them, I'll list a couple off, you are not going to be able to get her number, go on a date with her, sleep with her. It's just not gonna happen. You could be Tom Brady and you still wouldn't break down this door. She's closed. She's closed for business. So there's a million reasons why a girl can be closed, and it's a lot different for girls than it is for guys. See, guys, they just want to sleep with girls for the most part, and they're pretty flexible. As long as the girl is hot and they like the girl, they're pretty easygoing. But girls, they could be, let's start with the obvious ones. They could have a boyfriend. They could be in a situationship that they really like. They can be in the talking stages and they don't want to mess it up. They could have had a fight with their parents, their friends, and just be in a bad mood. It's the little things for girls that will make them not want to talk to a new guy. I'm telling you, this list goes on for days and days and days. And what this does is it allows you to defer a rejection. There's no point in getting rejected and then saying, oh, I'm not good enough. It's so much more beneficial for your mindset to be like, okay, well, she was closed for business, no matter what the reason is. Even if it wasn't true, even if she actually just didn't like you and was open for business, there's no point in telling yourself that. Even if you got rejected 100 times, it's much more beneficial to be like, oh, she was just closed for business. This had nothing to do with me. She either had a bad day, whatever. The whole list goes on. Why would you make yourself feel worse when you could make yourself feel good and be like, oh, well, she was just closed for business. I'm just one step closer to finding a girl who's open for business and who is open and receptive to me and my approach. This mindset's gonna help you go so much further. Instead of letting a rejection break you down, it's gonna build you up, and you can use it to build your courage and feel good about yourself instead of feeling bad. Now that you understand that rejection might have nothing to do with you, here's the next secret that actually allowed me to start taking action even when I was scared. See, my entire life growing up, I would be so in my head. I would be thinking, well, what do I say? How do I keep the conversation going? What if she rejects me right off the bat? The list will go on forever, and I would never take action, and I would get negative racing thoughts, sweaty armpits, clammy hands. I would be so nervous, be shaking literally, and that's what my reality was. But then I realized that you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. Literally, the world is your oyster. And once you can just stop caring about rejection and start pursuing what you want in life, you're gonna start getting it. And it doesn't really matter if you face some rejections. Rejection is inevitable in anything you do in life, and girls is just one more thing. You just need to depersonalize it, because one of the biggest issues that guys have is they feel that rejection is so personal when it comes to girls. They can handle rejection with sales. I see this all the time with my coaching clients. There'll be a dude who's in sales and he can get rejected with sales, but if it comes to girls, he's like, I can't handle rejection. You just need to depersonalize the rejection and make it not about you. And then it's the same thing like sales. You keep going until you get the sale. It doesn't really matter. I have conversations that I get rejected right off the bat that are dry. The list goes on, but I also have tons of great conversations all of the time as well. It's a balance. You can't have one without the other. It's the law of polarity. There's no good without bad. There's no light without dark. There's no success without rejections. I promise you, this is how it works. And I remember my dad always used to tell me this when I was younger. He would be like, Seb, you have nothing to lose. Just go talk to them. And my younger self would be absolutely terrified, and I wouldn't do it. And it was once I accepted this mindset and embodied it that everything really changed for me. And the last thing you need to realize that is if you get rejected and the approach goes bad, the only place that this will live on is in your mind. Are you gonna be the only one thinking about this? This girl has so much going on in her life. She does not give a shit, bro. She's got dudes in her phone constantly hitting her up. She's maybe fucking a couple of them. She's maybe got a boyfriend. Whatever the situation is, she's got a life. And girls receive so much validation, so much attention. They're so stimulated all the time. They don't remember this. They don't care. And as long as you don't do some silly ass shit and compromise your self-respect as a man, nothing bad is going to come out of this. Like, if you were to break down and start crying or cursing a girl out because she rejected you, then yeah, you deserve the bad that comes, because that's some silly ass shit. But if you leave with your self-respect intact like I do, and I just say, oh, well, it was a pleasure to meet you, have a great night, see you around maybe, and you leave, there's nothing that you lost. No one's thinking about this besides you if you choose to, and then you have the opportunity to keep going, go talk to the next girl, and that's just the game. And here's the truth about female nature and how you can capitalize on it for your benefit so that you can have great conversations. So a while back, I went on a date with a Polish girl, and I picked her up, and as soon as she got into the car, she started talking about herself. It was the easiest conversation that I've ever had, and it went on for so long. It went on for hours, the whole night. All I had to do was interject a little bit here and there and be like, oh, tell me more. Oh, that's so awesome. What happened next? And she would just keep going and going and going, and it was the easiest thing ever. Now, I know not every conversation is going to be like this, but the lesson here is that people, and girls especially, are very self-absorbed. So if you want to have great conversations, all you have to do is talk to them about themselves. And there's two things that you can take away from this. One, let's go back to the prior thing, which is that they're so self-absorbed, they're only thinking about themselves, they're not thinking about you. So if this rejection goes wrong, they don't care. So we can apply this to the last lesson and then move forward with it in terms of having great conversations is as simple as asking girls questions about themselves and showing genuine curiosity to get to know them, because everyone likes to talk about themselves, let's be honest. Now, so especially girls, and if you can exploit this and use it to your advantage, they're really gonna like you, and you're gonna form a genuine deep connection whilst just having them talk about themselves. You don't even have to try and impress them. You can just be impressed by them. And this is one of the biggest cheat codes that will allow you to have amazing conversations with ease. And something magical happens when you fully commit to this and let go of all your fears. So at 20 years old, I went to Sweden after fully committing to self-improvement for about 3 or 4 months. I built trust in my word and really was ready to take the next steps and go on and interact with the world in ways that I never had before. And I really wanted to make friends and meet a lot of girls when I went there. And I knew that rejection was going to be inevitable in this process, but I went after it anyway. And let me tell you, this was the most transformational time of my life, because it really helped solidify my new identity that I was building. Because when I went there, I had tons of success. I slept with 7 girls in 5 weeks, and for me, that was a huge accomplishment. And I'd only been with a couple girls in my life before this, and I was now seeing myself as the man who I wanted to be. All the hard work I had done had paid off. All the delayed gratification I'd been doing through my self-improvement allowed me to become this man who was now able to sleep with all these girls and embodied all the mindsets that I just taught you. And this really changed everything for me. So the biggest thing here is that you really need to keep working until the winner's effect takes over. See, I'd faced many rejections throughout before 20, and even when I went to Sweden, I still got rejected a bunch of times. But I kept going, because the winner's effect will state that wins will lead to more wins. So you need to just keep pushing and building your value as a man until you can get those wins and you start changing who you are as a person. You start seeing yourself differently. Your identity changes from maybe being like a shy introvert like I was to being a confident, extroverted guy who's just the man all around. That's how I see myself now. And that's how what you need to do for yourself too, is you need to build your identity into the man you want to be. And the only way you're going to do that is through persistent, tenacious action until you get the results that you're after. And this will allow you to make that change. And boys, if you're terrified of getting rejected, that is exactly why I built my rejection therapy guide for you. By the time that you finish this, you are no longer going to fear rejection, because you're going to have done everything that scares you. And you can grab this by clicking the first link in the description below.